I am going to break down every last detail you might have missed in the latest Illuvium gameplay reveal. There have been some drastic upgrades to the overworld, and we're going to step through screenshots of the trailer step by step to make sure we absolutely understand every single bit that's going on with the upgrades coming to the Illuvium overworld. We'll also talk a little bit about why this is important, why it matters, and what it means for the future of Illuvium, since this is a really, really big upgrade and a really big update. So I'm very, very excited. First, let's watch the trailer so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's 3 minutes long, but don't worry, I could watch the ending of this trailer for hours. Well, maybe not hours, but I could watch it a lot of times. We're going to cover everything you're missing right now.
Get started.
And that is the trailer, the Illuvium gameplay reveal. Now, I don't know what you guys think of that. Firstly, I want to say that it's without a doubt, Illuvium is the most far ahead Web3 project and Web3 game that there is. Now, maybe this doesn't fix every single problem the game has, but it's definitely really far ahead and got some really solid foundations for the future of the game. The other thing I should probably point out before we jump into these Easter eggs is that TSG has mentioned that they are considering doubling the quantity of items in the overworld. So what you've seen there is even double that, and that's what you're going to see in terms of alluvials, ores, all the rest of it. Okay? And don't forget to let me know what your favorite part of the gameplay reveal was. Let's jump straight into it. The very first thing is this brand new portal system where it cuts out all the loading screens from traveling between checkpoints. This is really, really cool. I cannot stress that enough. It's really good. It's really seamless. You'll still have a loading screen between going from the main base to the other regions, from Sanctum Mesa to the regions. However, it's looking like we might actually be able to get the checkpoints that we place inside the game to look like this as well, by the sounds of it. So, because this is where the checkpoint used to be on Sanctum Mesa, where you would click on it and then you could fast travel to a different place, and you can place checkpoints in the overworld. So if this is the upgrade to them, cutting out all of the loading screens except for one, then that would be really, really awesome. The next thing is the ranger falling onto the obelisk. We have not seen this before. What this really screams is that there's going to be a level of polish to just general interactions in the world and things like that, making the game feel truly AAA and truly story driven, which is going to be really impactful in terms of making the game more enjoyable to play. So yes, this one is very, very cool. All right, I'm going to have to zoom in on all of these. Okay. So this next one is, you can see the buck drone. So B4CH, that is the drone in this trailer. You can see I'm going to refer to it, even though it's not a trailer, I'm going to refer to it as a trailer because it's so hard to call it other things. The buck drone is actually activating the obelisk and all of the environment around it. We don't know what this actually pertains to, but my personal guess is that he's activating your ranger's energy and engaging with the fuel and that sort of thing. And maybe we're going to get even different animations for things like stage 2 and stage 3 runs, which would be really, really cool. The next thing we have is we see all the glowy bits as he's activating the obelisk, and this seems to go throughout the entire region. So I don't know if he's scanning the entire region that activates your Nether Site or what, but it's very interesting. I think the lore is going to tie into these two actions quite heavily. The next thing we've got a Lynx roaming in the overworld. Since they don't actually attack, fight, or chase the Lynx, it is not particularly obvious that it's there. You can see it there right in the right-hand side, right here. That Lynx right there. There's actually quite a few of them in this video, but we're not going to really point every single one of them out, but they are there. There's also quite a few plants. You can see one plant. I think that's a plant up there. Plant, two rocks maybe. There is a lot of items as compared to the past overworld betas. The next thing we've got is Nether Site, and you can see the distance seems to be greater, much, much greater. I don't know if they have the upgraded visor or anything like that, but it seems like they've got really good distance on this. And the other thing is you can see one of the rifts that's not open yet, right? There's a rift right there. That's where the little skinny thin thing is. If we zoom into it right here, that is one of the rifts that is not yet open. And they are all over the map. We'll point them out a bit more later, but they're very hard to see when you're not using Nether Site. So very interesting. That's going to be a part of the gameplay now, and I'll explain why very, very soon. As you can see, the draw distance is actually incredible. Now, this is going to seem a little bit weird to point out, but if we zoom in here, there is a blue speck, okay? That is because I'm pretty sure that is a harvestable item. What that means is that the draw distance on this gameplay means you can see so far in front. Think Minecraft, it's like 3 times like a standard Minecraft draw distance, which is going to be really good for seeing different resources and alluvials in the distance. You might be able to spot a dark hollow from way far away, which is really cool to me. The next thing we've got is we can see the Cara Blue and Cara Dulocks. Just double checking. Yep. So there is 7 Cara Blue here and 1 Cara Dulo. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's a 6th. And then the 7th one is standing right next to the Cara Dulo, and then the ranger flies down to interact with them. Next up, we've got them flying down. And what's really crazy here, in the top left here, I can't point all the way up there. In the top left there, you can actually see the rift is there. So if you're planning to take out these alluvials, you can go, okay, the rifts are here, here, and here. I should maybe shoot the alluvial from this side. I'll have the best advantage going into this. Or I should maybe skip this because the rift is really close. It's not going to be worth going for. And you can see the rift right here. It's been there the whole time. The next thing is as they're going through, you can see the really cool effects on the Cara Dulo, and you can see all of the Cara Blue seem to run in the opposite direction to the Cara Dulo. I don't know if this is programmed in or how this is set up, but it looks like they just have a default running pattern of some kind. I don't think this is algorithmic in any way, not yet at least. So we need to keep that in mind. Next, we've got Cara Blue, and you can see it's got some sort of force field shield thing when you're trying to shoot it. I don't know how this fits into lore, but I feel like this is very, very important, so keep that in mind. And again, you can see the rift right behind it. It's even harder to see when the ranger is close up. It was easier to see from the air. So making sure you're keeping an eye on these rifts when you're playing the game. Next up, we can see the rift open as Cara Blue gets close. It needed to get really close to make it super obvious. But at that point, you're pretty much going to have a lot of trouble trying to take it out right before it runs into that rift and you lose the capture. Now, I believe they have mentioned that, for example, with hollows and things, even though it escapes, it might respawn in a similar area. So you're not actually just going to like lose your hollow. That being said, if your equipment's not good enough, you might not be able to take it down in time no matter what. So I don't really know how those systems are going to work, but it's definitely food for thought. The next thing we've got is the Nether Site, and we can see the cooker from a really great distance. Again, they might have an upgraded visor, but it's really cool to see the silhouette of the alluvial on the visor. I can't imagine that's particularly easy to do, where they can see like a heat map through things, but it's a very, very nice touch. And I'm like, that's one of my favorite parts. And maybe if an alluvial is hollow or dark hollow, it's going to allow them to see that as well. So food for thought. Next up, we can count all of the different items here. Hold on. Yeah, we can see that it reveals 8 items in the vicinity. We've got the 3 on the left, we've got cooker, the 2 in front, and then we've got the 2 on the right. Now, why I'm pointing this out is because in the past, even on Crimson Waste, you would use Nether Site in most areas of the region, and you would see basically like 2 things, if at most, sometimes nothing. So this is a huge upgrade. And again, like I said at the start of the video, it's probably going to even go 2x from here. So this is a big, big deal for those fans of the Illuvium overworld. It's going to become a lot more interesting, that's for sure. Next up, we see a brand new crouch mechanic. Okay, this has not had that before. It looks like you can sneak up on the alluvials. I don't know why you can do that, but I have a theory. Okay, firstly, you can see the blurring and the silhouettes around the edge and stuff. All very cool effects. I'm actually loving this. I played a bit of Assassin's Creed in the past, Monster Hunter, all the rest of it. I played a lot of games with crouching mechanics. And I'm probably biased, but I actually think they've done crouching visuals better than any other game I've ever played. Not by that much, but it's really cool. I actually really love this bit. And here's my theory. A lot of people have asked Aaron and others in the Discord if you can trap alluvials or set traps and things like that. And they've always given really cryptic messages. The other thing is Aaron said 4 new mechanics are coming to Illuvium. I really do think based on the fact that you can crouch, there needs to be a reason for it. Things like setting traps or maneuvering the alluvials would all be really awesome mechanics to include here. And I hope that they're doing at least one of them. Not necessarily setting traps, maybe setting a bomb or something, and that's how crouching comes into it. I don't know. But it could be really cool, or the drone probably interacts with this in some way as well. Would have been cool to see the drone hide in the bushes, actually, now that I think about it. But anyways, Aaron, you got your work cut out for you. All right, so the next one is you can see them shooting the cooker. I don't know why I have this one. Okay, so as you can see here, as they're shooting the cooker right now, okay, you can see these 3 purple orbs. This is from the bullets that just landed on the alluvial. What many of you might not have noticed is when he's fighting the cooker, and I don't think this is the same for the Cara Blue, but when he's fighting the cooker, it's a 3-round burst rifle. I don't know if they changed it halfway through, if they hit a toggle to change from full automatic to 3-round burst, or they're just really good at clicking three times in a row. But I feel like this rifle has really specific ways of firing that we didn't see in the original overworld beta. It definitely feels like 3-round burst, which means that there are going to be lots of different ways to play and lots of different weapons in the Illuvium overworld. So for any of you who didn't notice that, I hope I showed that one to you. You're going to go back and watch it and you're like, oh shit, he was right. Okay, the next one here is we can see the drone attacking the cooker. This was the best animation of the entire thing by far. We already know the drones are going to play a really huge role in Illuvium and the Illuvium overworld, as they're going to act as your companions and you're going to upgrade them and evolve them over time in one way or another. Giving it a way to attack alluvials, it seems to be just one of those ways. Next up, we can see that once it gets taken down, it turns straight into an orb. Now, there is no animation for it converting into an orb yet. It was just one frame, it was a cooker. I went through this thing frame by frame, I'm telling you. One frame, it was a cooker. The next frame, it was an orb. It was actually kind of jarring. You're not going to notice it too much, but I'm looking forward to when they add an animation to this sort of thing, because one of my favorite animations from the initial gameplay trailer was the Titanor going into that portal. Really, really cool, which is different to the Cara Blue that went into the Rift. They're slightly different things, even though I don't expect them to look similar. I don't know. Anyways, next up, we can see some slapping here running across the map. They're doing their signature Naruto style run. We love to see it. The next thing we can see is Twine here standing around in Abyssal Basin. Previously, we had Tiger Burrell, Abyssal Basin. Very, very cool. I like how they all have their own animations, and it seems like they have their own personality. I don't know how far along the team is with things like their animations and stuff, but if it's far, then that is a really big deal. And this world, it might not feel super duper engaging just yet. There's more work to do, but it's definitely going to feel more alive. It's going to be more entertaining, and it's definitely going to add to the replayability about 2-3-fold than what we have right now. The next thing is we can see the foe here, really loving life, not much to it. And of course, Q2 2024. Now, we've had little nods to launch dates and things like that in gameplay trailers and stuff in the past, I believe. But they're very confident, and I think it does say a lot that they're confident enough to put it into this gameplay reveal. They really didn't need to put it here, and they're using this as a major marketing tool to get the hype around Illuvium before it launches. They could make 5 more of these reveal trailers, the gameplay trailers, if they wanted to, and put a Q2 2024 one on the one that they were confident with. But they did it on this one. They're confident the game is going to come out soon. If you want to support me as a creator and help out Illuvium, don't forget to click my link down below and go download the game from Epic Games if you haven't already. If you have already downloaded the game, click the link down below, go through that page. I think you'd be surprised about some of the new stuff you can find on that website every now and then. Have a good one, guys.